Perfect, man. Perfect.
Okay, so before we kind of dive into anything, Joe, perhaps maybe you want to start off with introducing yourself, telling people where you're from, what niche you're in, what service you offer, when it is you joined us, things along those lines.
Yeah, sure thing, man. So, I'm Joe, owner of Social Forge Solutions. We are in the home improvement niche, mainly in the US and Canada is the clients that we like to work with. I'm from a little place called Wigan, in the UK, which is in between Manchester and Liverpool, if anyone knows it. Joined EasyGrow around July 7th when I had a 9 to 5. Fast forward, what are we on 6 months now, and I no longer have a 9 to 5 and running scaling every single day. Before I was just telling Jack before this, we've literally just signed a client about 4 minutes ago. So we really are just scaling like crazy at the moment.
Another 2K client, which we love to see. So it's been 6 months since you have been with us.
Mm.
And in that period of time, where have you gone from? So where were you starting? How much are you making on a monthly basis now?
Yeah, so gone from making 1,500 a month at my kind of corporate traditional job. So I'm 23, finished university and went into your classic graduate scheme business. Did that for a year in the end, all in. But essentially joined the company, very much didn't like the 9 to 5. The job was fine, but I just felt a bit numb. Kind of just no two ways about it really, and decided to start looking for something else. Found Charlie on Spotify of all places. Got into his YouTube, booked a call with Jack, and yeah, decided that this was the best way forward. Tried other courses in the past, didn't work. Spent a lot of money on that, and just decided, EasyGrow was the best route for me to get what I wanted. So fast forward 6 months after being in EasyGrow, we're currently doing 12 grand, 12K a month at the moment. Forecasted to do around 25 at the end of February as well, if all deals come in. Additionally, we got another huge opportunity for the business where potentially in the next 4 months or so, if all things go well and service delivery goes well, we'll be at 50K a month within the next 4 months as well, which is awesome. So pretty much the long story short is my life has completely changed, gone from £1,500 to now earning 12,000. It's nuts.
I am so happy for you, man, because that is quite a turnaround for you to go from 1500 in the 9 to 5, step away from that, and then start making 12,000 a month in the space of 6 months is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so let's dive into this then.
Mm.
Did you have a lot of previous experience before you came on board with us when it came to digital marketing, business, sales, appointment booking? What did that look like?
So my experience was very, very limited before. I knew I was always okay at selling because I'd done it in previous roles, and account management I knew I was always okay at. But in terms of marketing, etc., absolutely nothing. I think we did one course at university for it, which was like a 1 month program. But apart from that, like knew absolutely nothing about it. Kind of found the marketing space around December, not 2023, 2022, and started to getting into that. Your classic email gadgets and all of that started popping up. And then I did more research, bought some courses that were just not very good, and decided to learn from there. So I kind of started from zero when I joined EasyGo. I tried things in the past. I had a basic understanding of how an agency worked and how service delivery worked, but I never really knew anything. So everything I pretty much learned has come from EasyGrow.
Okay, so in terms of the problems that you had on your hands when you joined us, it was basically a bit of everything, like knowing how to structure the business, having a clear roadmap in place, how to book in appointments, how to sell, how to go about doing the service delivery. Is it fair to say that you had to learn all of
Oh, mate, like if there was a level below ground zero, that's pretty much what I started at when I joined EasyGrow.
that? Okay. Okay, cool. So you said that you did some other courses in the past. How many courses had you done?
Just two. So one was quite cheap, it was like 500. The other one was quite high ticket, that was 5,000. And it just, yeah, wasn't great.
And why is it that you feel like those other programs didn't didn't work for you? What was missing with that?
I mean, the main thing, I think, the out of dateness of them. You can tell they were made in 2017, when SMMA was all the rage,
Mm.
and they've just never been updated since. The coaching calls, I didn't really trust their advice because they're probably making good money, but at the end of the day, they hadn't had that much experience running agencies, and they hadn't had people on the coaching calls like who were coaches actually running live agencies themselves. I think that was one massive advantage of EasyGrow. Like even now, I still hop on to pretty much every single call that I possibly can, with the likes of Demola and Oscar, people like that, Mo, all of them guys who are actively running agencies. And you can really kind of get some really live feedback and help keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the industry and what's happening kind of in the agency space in general.
Yeah, I hear this a lot, especially on the sales calls when people have gone through courses in the past, that the products can be like a year, 2 years,
It's
3 years.
ridiculous.
And that's why we're always looking to develop the program every single month. In fact, this is a little bit of cheeky news for you, where we're about to be near enough doubling up all of the coaching calls that are taking place on a weekly basis.
Oh wow,
It's
that's it, mate. That's insane. And you've just added a new DM course as well a couple days ago.
yeah, we
That's
do.
nuts.
So we're going to be improving the product even more. But this is all of the reason why obviously we're getting people good results. But that's my insight on things. But I'm more keen to hear how do you feel like the product helped you, and why do you
Mm.
feel like it got you the results you've managed to get? Because to go from 0 to 6 figures in 6 months is not an easy thing to do. So why do you think that it worked for you?
Mm. So I think it was a combination of three things really for me. Number one, the entirety of acquisition genesis around building systems and understanding how systems work really allows you to essentially build an entire framework for your business where you can see, like I can see my business now across like 8 different spreadsheets, and it's awesome. I can see like forecasting, see exactly where I am and where I need to go. There's kind of second thing is the outreach methods. I've been a big fan of Loom, the Terminator Loom system. That's been my kind of bread and butter. I've done cold calling and DMs, and all the outbounds are great. But I think really exposing that in terms of setup and everything, like the Oscar just stripping everything back for you, really helped me build the system from the ground up. So not only did the acquisition genesis teach me how systems should be run, but they also give you the systems as well. And because you have both the understanding of each, the theory behind how it's built and the actual system itself, you can really make changes by yourself as well, and you become self-sufficient. And then the final and third one, which everyone says, and I'm not BSing, it's the truth. Self-transcendence is worth the money that the course costs alone. One like that complete, like not even over exaggerating, that completely changed my life. Like I know a lot of, there's a lot of wins in the community, etc. And you guys probably get numb to the wins that are happening because people are doing some crazy stuff. But to like have that, what is it, 20 hours on self transcendent, maybe even 30 hours, that changed my life for I'll be living like that for the next 50 years or however long I live. It's just absolutely crazy. So I'd say the three pillars were definitely acquisition genesis, the outbound, but the strongest pillar was 100% self transcendence.
And it's so interesting you say this, because obviously every time, Joe, someone jumps into a sales call with me, the only thing that they really want to do is book more appointments. And so a lot of the time we don't even touch on the mindset piece. But
Yeah.
when people actually get into the product, they get, as you've just said, one of their favorite parts of it is the mindset side of things. And it's so interesting, and I'm sure that you can see that difference in yourself now when you start pushing in the direction of being successful, and when you become successful, you think completely differently to how you used to. So could you perhaps kind of touch on that? Like, what is the difference between who you were 6 months ago, beyond the finances, like six
Yeah.
months ago, versus how you are now? How do you see yourself? Like, how has your identity changed? How have your paradigms changed?
Oh, it's absolute night and day. Like not to like boost my ego too much, but it is like you're playing on Minecraft creative mode once you like have those paradigm shifts and understand like the tradition. I'm from a very, very traditional family in terms of, you go to uni, you get a good job, then you become director, etc. And you can, max earn six figures a year. Like my father's done very, very great work and worked his arse off for, best part of 30 years. And I earn a very similar salary to him now. The main thing and the paradigm shifts you have, it just, it's like, to be honest, you are misunderstood by a lot of people. You will become misunderstood by a lot of people. And it can be a lonely path, which is another reason why EasyGrow is so good because there's people with just a like-minded kind of mindset to you, and you're all pushing with the same goals. It's a real true community, actually. Um, Additionally, the big paradigm shifts that I had is you need to act like the person before you actually become that person, before you earn it. So I know often Charlie mentions, you need to think and become and act like a six-figure entrepreneur before you become one. And it's so, so true. You need to have those disciplines in place and act like that before you actually go ahead and get what you deserve because you do deserve it. If you act like that for long enough, it will happen. Exactly.
You become
Exactly.
exactly. It's very true. Okay, cool. Let's pull back all the way to the point where we first spoke.
Yeah.
And you jumped on the sales call with me. I don't know what you were expecting at that point in time. Obviously, you were somewhat familiar with Charlie already. You heard some
Yeah.
of the content, you've seen some of the content, so I'm sure that that helps with building trust. But in terms of the actual call itself, can you, if you can remember, can you take us back to kind of the emotions that you were feeling, and also, I guess, what gave you the confidence to
Mm.
step forwards and actually do this?
So I think there's kind of three, well, probably four main things, which is what you guys teach in the course actually, is where you get your confidence from. Number one is the offer. The offer is obviously very, very good. I'm not sure what offer you're running at the moment, but for me, it was, I think it was 10 clients or increased by 20K a month, something like that. As long as you do the outreach, which is, completely fair enough. So the offer was very, very strong. I drew a lot of confidence from that. I drew a lot of confidence from testimonials. That was huge. So before going into the call with you, you take us through the VSL, etc. We can watch the client testimonials, and you got some really good ones in there. The Trustpilot reviews are absolutely insane. I've left one myself because the course deserves it. And then the final thing was just the confidence from you, like having someone who speaks to you who genuinely believes in a product and genuinely believes in the business that they're creating and working for was a massive, massive selling point as well.
Okay, cool. Let's approach this from a different angle then. So obviously you did move forwards.
Mm,
What do you think life would look like if you didn't?
great question. Life would look like exactly the same. I'd probably be on a bit more money because I would have got a promotion. So I would have been on what 2,000 after all taxes, etc. I would have been working probably 40, 50 hours a week on something that I didn't really like, traveling the country, not being my own boss, still drinking all the time, like going out on a Friday or Saturday night, spending God knows how much money, just really being numb
Mhm.
to kind of what life is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's probably the biggest kind of difference that's been.
Okay, cool. So, because obviously sometimes we're going to have people that come onto the call, and they're a little bit unsure, and I can understand why. Like
Of course.
somebody comes to you, even perhaps somebody's watching this right now, and they're like, "How is it possible that you can go from zero to earning 10, 12K a month in the space of 6 months when you have zero business experience?" It just doesn't sound like that's possible, and I get it. Like
Mm.
I can actually see that perspective. I get it. What would you say to somebody who perhaps is thinking about booking in a call, and they book in a call and they get to the stage where they have to make this big decision for their life about which direction they're going to go, and they're fearful of taking that step forwards? what is it that you would say to them to give them encouragement to just get after it and to chase their goals and to put their trust in the process?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I know a couple other people that ask this, and they just kind of say, just book the call or just sign. That is the long story short. But in life, and you have to take risks, and if I didn't take that risk, I would not be where I am today. I'm looking at traveling Europe in the next couple of months with some agency owners in my similar niches to me. The revenue I'm doing is in pounds, so that's like even more in US dollars, like 15, 16K USD. I you like if you're not trusting kind of Jack, Charlie, or Bo, take it from one of their students or the countless of students that they do have in the program. I've done it. I've done the 6 months, and it's changed my life. So I could not recommend it to anyone. I think like I couldn't recommend it to anyone more. I think you need to take the risk. If you don't take the risk, you're always going to be wondering what if. And if I was sat here in 6 months, having not done EasyGrow, still watching Charlie's content, still doing the same things, doing a couple bits of outreach and not really getting anywhere, my life would look a hell of a lot different. And if I knew what I knew back then, like I would have instantly done it, like within a heartbeat, to be honest.
And it's an interesting thing for me as well, because I think it's almost a prerequisite to becoming successful. You have to get past that fear. You have to get past the doubts that might be in the back of your head in order
Mm.
for you to take that next step to where you want to be. And so I think that's really, really good advice.
And additionally, like regardless if get to the revenue figure that I've got, there's a guy that did 50K he's doing 50K a month in 4 months. Alex, great guy, such a lovely bloke. Like regardless if you get to 2K, 5K, 10K, 100K, regardless of what you get to, EasyGrow will change your life forever for the better. I can guarantee that.
Okay, let's pace this out a little bit then. So it's only been 6 months. Everything has changed massively already.
Yeah.
Not even been a lot of time in the slightest. What is the goal for the next year? You've already touched on the fact that you're projecting out to get to 50K. You want to travel around Europe. What's the plan for 2024?
Yeah, so 50K was the original goal for the end of the year, 50K a month, £50,000 a month. That's like 60 something US. So $60,000 was the plan per month. But the way it's shaping up at the moment, I don't think 100,000 is out the question. $100,000 a month, scaling very quickly. But I understand that I'm not the person that can earn that yet. Well, I'm not perfect. I've still got disciplines that I need to work on and things like that. So I'd like to say 100K, but I understand I need to create the person first. But in terms of like the agency and how that's changed my life, I love the agency for me. I know a lot of people like want to do it well and then get into other things. I do want to get into other things, but I really, really like the model. And my plan, I probably shouldn't say this because people will copy it, but essentially have like 5 different agencies at 100K each per month in the home improvement niche in general, each in different sub niches, and start to get equity in those trade businesses, and then grow from there at $500,000 per month. So I see the next kind of 12 months. If it weren't for this opportunity, 50K a month, but I think we could definitely reach 100 if all things plan out correctly and I put in the work.
And am I right in thinking that you have the confidence to be able to set these big targets for yourself over the coming year? One, because of the mindset and you understanding on a personal level what it is that you need to be, but also what you need to do to get there.
Mm.
Two, because you have the appointments in your calendar, obviously, to make it happen. And then three, just having the right systems given to you from the product that you can make small tweaks to enable you to scale faster. Or are there other elements where you feel like I'm missing something, or is that kind of the core part of what is enabling you to scale at speed?
I think it's definitely the core part. One thing that I know is a bit controversial in the space is paid ads. I'm a personal big fan that is what currently is allowing me to really scale. So I got to 5K a month, quit my job, and decided to take a risk with paid ads, and that's paid off like 10 times for me. So I'm a big believer in that, and I know a lot of people in EasyGrow are as well. But it's nice to hear very balanced views in the community as well. The one thing that I was going to say is kind of mentorship as well. It's something that I'm looking for more one-to-one as well. But the fact you mentioned that, you almost doubling the coaching calls is absolutely like fantastic for me. Like I take some very good advice, and like religiously follow some people in EasyGrow in terms of what they say because they've been and done it. So that's another thing for me, is that mentorship side and that community side as well, because like networking is huge as well. There's some really big guys in EasyGrow doing some crazy numbers who I see answering questions for beginners. I do it a lot. Any question anyone has, they'll make looms for them. Like they'll take, they're running 50K to 100K month businesses, and they'll take 20 minutes, 30 minutes out of their day and create a loom for people. Like the community is insane. So like, it's worth it for me to stay in there and learn off that. And the fact you mentioned the coaches is nuts. So I'm very excited for that one.
It's only going to get better. Even me,
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what we do over the next year because there's a lot of plans in place just to make the product better and better and better. So it's going to be exciting.
which is insane because it's already the best product on the market, 10 times fold.
This is
It's
how we stay the
ridiculous.
best. This is
Yeah,
how we stay
true.
the best. Okay, well, look, Joe, massive congratulations to you for all of the success thus far. I'm expecting big things ahead for
Me too.
months. Perhaps we'll do another one of these in another 6 months' time and see what you've done by then. But before we wrap this up, do you have anything else that you want to kind of share with anybody who is watching this at this point in time?
Yeah, 100%. Like first thing, I just want to say thank you to you guys, and thank you for hopping on the call with me 6 months ago. Like I'm genuinely not the same person, and it's ridiculous to say, but you have changed my life, and I know you guys are numb to that, but it's crazy. And so just want to say thank you to everyone at EasyGrow. And then the second thing is like anyone watching, who's thinking about booking a call or hesitant or, whatever it might be, please just put your details in, fill out the form, speak to one of the sales guys. They're absolutely amazing. And, when you're thinking about, should I do this? Is it the right move for me? I'm fearful, etc. Like if you're watching this now, think about this video. I was in the exact same position 6 months ago, and now I'm running a six-figure business with, they're not even dreams anymore. I know I'm going to achieve them. It's just a matter of time, really. So I definitely take that advice from me. Think about it when you're on the call. Think about what I've said, and yeah, you will not regret it. Regardless of how much money you make, it'll change your life regardless.
Joe, thank you so much for jumping on the call, my friends. I will
Thank
see
you very much, mate.
you once, and we'll see what you do then.
Appreciate it, mate. Cheers.